And on the Java side, what is the version of Java you've used? What is the Spring Boot version?
Java 8, Spring Boot 3.
Java 8 and Spring Boot 3. Spring
Yes.
Boot 3 is not compatible with Java 8.
I mean 3 after 3, post 3.
Anything after Spring Boot 3 is not compatible with Java 8. It requires Java 17.
Okay.
Let me check. I've done that migration. It
So I
forced us
downloaded the
to use
yeah,
Java 17.
okay, downloaded the project from initializer and selected 17. Still, it
Hmm.
was limited to streams max.
See, I have just Googled it. It says Spring Boot 3.0 requires Java 17 as the minimum version, right?
Okay.
So you uh, cannot use Java 8 with Spring Boot 3.
Okay.
Next, have you used any database?
Yeah, Postgres and SQL servers.
Any experience on NoSQL part?
No, not yet.
And what about deployment? How is it done?
So Jenkins, using Jenkins, but we had a separate DevOps team. So we had very limited
No, I will
access.
not ask you any questions on Jenkins, don't worry. Just wanted to know how your application is deployed and where it is deployed.
AWS only.
AWS.
Yeah,
And which service in AWS is used for deployment?
so that I'm not sure.
Not sure. So is it containerized or the jar is deployed? Which artifact is used?
We used to ship the jar.
Jar is used, right?
Yeah.
Have you any experience with Docker?
Not professionally, but I have started uh, looking into online courses, Docker and Kubernetes.
Okay, so you know the basic of Docker, basic things
Yeah,
of Docker.
yeah.
So let us start from there only a single question, and then we'll move to Java. So how is a Docker image different than the Spring Boot created jar?
So like a Docker image contains your Java code as well as that environment. So normally when we ship the jar, we will just give the jar, the Java code. But in Docker, it will take Java version, then which are form dependencies we have used compatible. So suppose we have already configured all the Java project, Spring Boot project, and we ship only the jar. So it might give some conflicts in the testing or deployment phase. So to eradicate those issues, we use Docker. So it will ship the environment plus the code.
Okay. So this image that is created, okay,
Yeah.
is a popular way of deployment, right?
Yeah.
Deployment your Java application.
Mhm.
So is it okay to deploy your database also using images? No.
Uh, Software we can do for versioning, but data we cannot write because production and development data will be different.
I'm talking about production only. I want to deploy something on production. So I need a MySQL or Postgres database, right?
Hmm.
So you have a containerized Java application. So for MySQL, can I use a containerized MySQL image? Will it work?
It will work.
Okay, it will work.
Yeah.
Then obviously it will work. That is correct. Do you see any negative aspects of using database images in production?
Yeah, so if somebody has configured it to create, then we might lose our
Mhm.
data. So we have to make sure that
Somebody has tell that first line again. Somebody has
configured it
configured it
for
to.
creation instead of update. Then we might lose our data.
How do you write create and update in Docker? It's not there, right? It's always create.
That I'm not sure actually.
Okay. Docker has no feature for update. It is only Docker run single command is there, right?
Mm.
It will create your database. Fine. So let's move to things that we can discuss, which is Java, Spring Boot. Which one is your favorite thing?
You can start with Java.
Java. Okay. Java is also very big. So there, where we can start.
Streams.
Streams. So my approach is that anything that you are comfortable with, we'll discuss only those things, right?
Okay.
So the streams, you can pick any method that is there and explain that.
So stream is like we have three stages of creating and executing streams. First is creating a
Mhm.
pipeline, then intermediate operations, and then ternary operations, termination operation,
Terminal, not terminal.
terminal. So we can have more than one intermediate operations like filter and sorted and getting the max or minimum. But pipeline creation and terminal operations can only be once. So example of
Right.
terminal operations is like collect. Then example
Correct.
of that intermediate is filter, reduce, min, max, sorted.
Mm. So pick filter and explain that. Filter is
So
good. You can explain that, right?
yeah, so yeah, filter is that filter method is used to so suppose we have to run some conditional check on the stream we want. Like we have a list of number, we want to get only the odd numbers. Or we have a list of students and we want to filter only students we have scored more than 60%. Then we can use filters for that.
Mm. Okay. And explain that in technical terms also. So you have provided the usage, which is correct.
Mhm.
Like you have to give me the method signature of filter. Filter is a method, so it will have a return type, input type, what input it takes, what it returns as output.
So we can convert that filter to any other. So suppose we have a list and we can convert it to any other collection using collectors method. And
No, that is not the question. Let's finish filter first, then we'll go to collect method. My question is, what is the signature of the filter method?
uh,
Signature means input type, what input it takes, and what is the output type.
it can take consumer.
And what is the return type?
So return types depends on the whatever the stream is there.
That has a name, right? Is it object, class, or what is the
Stream
class returned as output of filter?
type.
Yes. This is easy question. Don't worry. Don't be tensed. This is pretty easy. You can, if you look at the answer, right, then you will understand this is easy. You can Google it basically. If you are not able to do that, then you can share your screen. Let's do a pair programming kind of thing. Okay? If you are okay.
Okay.
If the interview is not going as per your expectations, you can tell that. Everything is up to you. I want you to give your best. Like you should tell your favorite topic. You should explain that. Go ahead. Search for uh, Java filter something. Java stream filter. What do we get here? First one. Yes. So this is what I was asking, right? What is the input type and output type here? So the input type is predicate class and the output type is stream of the type T.
Yeah.
So this is easy question, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's not difficult. So don't scroll down because my next question will be on this line itself. Now you need to explain what is the meaning of predicate here. What kind of class is that
So
and what is the logic inside it?
so predicate is like it's a functional interface which has only one method,
Yes.
that is test.
Mm,
So
mm,
it is
mm.
used for
And
the return type is
again, what is
Boolean.
the signature of that test method?
So the return type is Boolean and
Mm.
public
And what it
Boolean
takes as input?
test.
So when you say it is functional interface, it means that it is not implemented, right? The test method is not implemented.
Yeah.
Okay. So how it works if it is not implemented?
So we create that lambda expression to implement that one and call that expression using test method.
Okay. So which means that lambda expression is converted to that test method.
Yes.
So now you are getting the pattern in which you should answer, right? This complete discussion will make your filter concept very clear, right? The
Hmm.
interviewer will be able to answer, means understand that the candidate knows about filter. Do you agree?
Yeah.
So your next answer should be also of this level. Yeah.
Hmm.
Now you can. What else shall we discuss? Next topic.
So we can take a JPA.
Spring Data JPA.
Yeah.
Okay. So in Spring Data JPA, we have various types of repository, and that connects to database. Right?
Hmm. Yeah.
So that database has a set of properties known as ACID properties. Are you aware of that?
Yeah.
What is ACID
So
property?
ACID is like a full form of shortcut of atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. So atomicity is
Yes.
like
Mm.
the whole transaction has to be considered as a
You can
single
stop the
unit.
sharing, by the way. Please, you can
That
stop
is
the sharing.
fine. Okay.
Okay.
So atomicity is like the whole transaction should be considered as a single unit. Either everything should be executed or it should be rolled back.
Correct.
And consistency is like it should be consistent over that that we have multiple constraints like primary key and foreign key. So after execution of the uh, transaction, those constraints should be maintained. Then isolation is like every transaction should be independent of other transactions. So one transaction should not affect other transaction. And
Last one, durability.
durability is like suppose our system has crashed or uh, database has crashed. So all the data which has been successfully committed, it should not be deleted. We should not lose that data.
So say I have written a query, okay, and I find that that query is running very slow. Okay. So what steps you will take to improve the performance of that select query? What are the reasons if you reformat the question, what are the reasons a query can go slow?
So suppose we are using joins or getting data from more than one table, then it can cause in slowness.
Correct. Okay.
So
What
suppose
else? And how will you resolve that? Give the solution
so we
also. You
can
highlight the problem.
create views for that. So
By
views is
views,
like
you mean materialized views or normal views?
normal views. Yeah. So suppose we are executing the same join query again. So instead of
Mm.
doing that, we can create a view using create view, then whatever selected,
Okay, fine. And
and
what
we
else can
can.
be reason for slowness?
So so suppose a view is getting data from multiple sources. So it will hold the thread until it gets the data.
Mm. Okay. You have. I was expecting to listen the word index.
Uh,
Can so you have not mentioned index, right? That is pretty important in speeding up the queries.
yes. But actually, I have not created an index.
No, you don't. I'm not asking you for syntax. You don't need to create just concepts we are discussing, right?
Hmm.
Are you familiar why indexes are useful? Why they are needed?
Yeah. So if we are getting getting select statements, so
Mm.
index can fasten the retrieval of data for selects.
Correct. Index can also make your database slower, in which case,
So if we have simple queries, then for those simple queries, for everything we should not go for indexes. So only which have that use cases, like if we are doing the same
you have to give
uh,
the use case. That is the question.
multiple getting data from multiple data tables using joins, then we can use that one.
That is not the correct thing. In case of multiple inserts or updates, right, where your indexed column is changing multiple times, then for each such transaction, the re-indexing will trigger, right? Okay, so when you're inserting something or you're updating an indexed column, then indexing will not be valid anymore. It has to be re-indexed. So if such case is there, then for insert and updates, your queries will be slower. Select performance will not be hampered. Select performance will be good only. Okay,
Okay.
fine. So now say, let's go into a practical question. Say you have this list of integers or list of strings. Okay, I want to find out which string is coming how many times in the list. So what approach can be taken to solve this? Just give me the algorithm, since we don't need the Java syntax.
So we can use streams like suppose list dot.
Give me an algorithm, not streams.
So for a
Use an
list,
al. Hmm.
and you have list of strings which have duplicate. So you want to get the duplicate list.
No, I don't want to get duplicates. That was not the question. I want to know which string is coming how many times.
Okay.
It can be duplicate, it can come single time. I want that data, right? How many times? One time, two times, three times.
Yeah, so we can iterate through the list, and we can create a map of string comma integer. So integer will be containing how many times the particular string is coming. Now, once we iterate, so first time for the first loop, it will not be there. So if we can check like map.get of key, if it is
mm,
null, then we can insert like directly string, that particular string, comma 1. So this is the
right.
first time. So when we are getting that same string, that conditional check is true if map.get of whatever string is there is true. Then we will get that whatever previous integer value is, like get value,
And
and
you
we
will
can,
increase by one.
yeah, increment it one, and we can put it again.
Okay. So that is the correct approach. Now, if I want to sort this thing, right? Say from highest to lowest or lowest to highest. So what things will be needed?
String length.
Not length, the number of times, right?
Okay.
Say I want to say I have a word called Java. So Java. So A is coming 2 times. So I want to print A at the top. Then J and V can come later. What change you will do in your current algorithm or design? Basically, I want to the answer from you about what are the different map types available in Java other than hash
Okay.
map.
So tree map can be used, which already
Tree map can be
provides
used for sorting,
sorting. Yeah.
but it sorts by keys, right? Not by value.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
you need to think little twist is there.
Not
Okay,
get it.
Shwani. So basically, you can get the entry set, right? Map.entry set, and then you can sort that set based on value. Okay.
Okay.
Direct tree map will not work because it sorts by key.
Yeah.
Here we are sorting by value, right?
Mm.
Integer is the value, how many times it is. Okay, fine. So I'm done with my questions. If anything to discuss, any feedback, anything you want,
No, that's it.
okay. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
You're happy with the interview flow.
Yeah. Flow, but I'm not happy with myself.
What? Which question you're not happy?
No, no, not about questions. Myself, I'm saying.
Yeah, means which question you think you were not able to answer.
No, so for everything, I need to have deep knowledge. So
Other than that predicate part, I agree. Other than that,
database level knowledge also. Uh,
yeah, indexing and those things. You are aware of that indexing, right? Indexing will help in
yeah,
improvement, but you did
I.
not mention it.
Hmm.
And the last question, which is this one, you were able to solve is finding the frequency.
But I didn't know entry can sort using values.
That you have to think, right?
Hmm.
everything free. You cannot cannot
Yeah.
ask anything that people know
Straightforward.
already.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye bye.